Hey guys, boys and girls, moms and dads, kids of all ages, Todd Vandermyde back for another edition of Freedom Steel. Former NRA contract lobbyist, Illinois gun law guru, and so a couple of housekeeping measures. So one, evidently a couple of you guys were listening when I said a week ago that I was out on the range and froze my nuts off with some training we were doing, and that I don't normally drink coffee, but I tried the gun barrel coffee, liked it, and I would have been drinking it that day. Except I mentioned that I don't happen to have a coffee pot, which is true, except that now I don't have one coffee pot, I have two, because Michael Cummings and Jeff Corello sat there and were kind enough to send me a coffee pot, and guys will be getting them set up, and I'll take advantage of it. You'll be seeing me probably sipping on a little of the gun barrel coffee while out of my mug that Shauna Johnson gave me while I do some of these, and might be sipping some other stuff out of there from time to time. So there's that. What else is, we've had a little hiatus here. That's because I've been extremely busy out at the gun club. Royal Sportsman's Club is in the middle of a huge construction expansion. We're adding 20 ranges and a bunch of other stuff, and been working on parking lots of stuff. Well, there's a contractor who's going to be starting a road resurfacing project. They're going to be grinding off the top layers of asphalt. It gets turned into chips, and they're going to be dropping 800 truckloads of that stuff at the club for us to use to finish off our parking lots. So I was getting a bunch of stuff prepped, like moving cars that were in the way. And it's also great for taking out your frustrations at times. So doing that and everything. I'm going to be out there all this week, so the videos might be a little slow coming out this week. But wanted to get one out to you guys for Monday. And so part of that is, let's talk about the magazine ban that is contained in the Illinois gun ban. Now, last week, you remember I talked about that and how it applies to, in my opinion, to semi-auto shotguns. Well, let's have a little look here as to the language says a magazine belt, drum, feed strip, or other similar device that has the capacity of, or that can be readily restored or converted to accept more than 10 rounds of ammunition for long guns and more than 15 rounds of ammunition for handguns. So let's look, you see here, Glock 19, factory mag. You would think you're okay. We have a Glock 26 here, factory sized magazine. You would think that we're okay here. We're not. You know that little or in there, or that can be readily restored or converted to. So let's take the magazine out of our Glock 26 here. And all you need is a ballpoint pen. Insert into the bottom here, and this base plate comes off. If you remove this base plate, you can turn around and add a mag extender, a revised bottom plate. And you can get these to where they go up from 1, 2, 3, up to 30 rounds. So they were taking some Glock 17 mags, adding a 20 to it, making it a 27. They're called the Goliath ones. Here's a picture of these base plates that you can change out. And look at the Glock 15, or the Glock 19 with the 15 round mag. Again, ballpoint pen, push it down, base plate slides off. Put a new base plate on, maybe a new spring, where it has a +2 on, +1 on this is illegal. You put a +5 on here, illegal, because it can be readily restored or converted to accept more than 15 rounds. So there's another problem here. It's not just the ownership possession, because you can own or possess these, can't buy anymore. And I would argue that any of these mags that have removable base plates are illegal to sell in the state of Illinois. It's going to be a controversial statement. People aren't going to, well, how come their stores are doing this stuff? Because nobody's paying that deep of attention to the minutia and the details within the statute. But this goes farther than that, because if you slide down to subsection D, it says person, provided that person shall possess such device only, one, on private property owned or immediately controlled by the person. Two, on private property that is not open to the public with the express permission of the person who owns or immediately controls such property. Trick there, not open to the public. You cannot have a magazine that is readily convertible, even though it only holds 15 rounds in this configuration. That becomes an illegal magazine to carry along with your Glock 19. This magazine that only holds 10 rounds for a Glock 26, because it can be readily converted to, becomes illegal to carry. You can't carry it to the gas station, can't take it to a restaurant, can't take it to the supermarket or any other private property that is open to the general public. This is so bad that there are gun shops who are not letting their employees carry full-size Glock 17s with the factory mags, because they are in a business that is open to the public. And, the express permission on property that is not yours only comes about if that property is not open to the public. So this is their New York workaround on sensitive places. And this, so if you can modify this 10-round magazine, it is not, this isn't a 15-round limitation. So unless you plaster weld, epoxy, super glue that base plate on there to where it cannot be removed, you're going to have an illegal magazine. I mean, let's go back to the venerable 1911. Here, Wilson Combat 8-round magazine. Push down here. Slide that off there. See? It's convertible. And because it's convertible, it's considered a high cap mag. Period. The end. Their own language says that. And then down in subsection D, it says you can't carry that into any public place. So are we going to see cops wanting to check your mags out? And are they going to be looking for removable base plates? I don't know. We've already had one report of a state trooper demanding to see a lady's magazines because she came up with a carry permit, even though that part is not in effect. That part of the law doesn't go into effect until April 10th. But this is not a 15-round limit on handguns for any handgun that uses a magazine that has a removable base plate. I'm not sure, if it's got a removable base plate, I think it's just illegal. There, Glock 26, right? So Glock 26, 10-round standard mag. You can put the Glock 19, 15-round mag in there. You would, well, I'll carry these for my backup mags. No, these can be readily converted too. Just like if you're a guy who owns a Glock 19 and you're used to carrying Glock 17 mags for your backup mags, just so you get those plus twos. Can't do it. Even if they're not in the gun, can't do it. You travel with them, they are supposed to be unloaded and enclosed in a case. And if it has a removable base plate, it is readily converted to. And because of that, I think they got a whole new problem, because it's really not a 15-round limit. All your modern magazines, the vast majority of your modern magazines utilize removable base plates. So, I Another one where some guys are going to go, but they're selling it. I know they're selling them at stores because nobody's paying attention to minutia or what the state law actually said. Remember when I said we shouldn't negotiate on this stuff? This is why. They didn't know what they were writing. And it's going to get broader than what I'm going to tell you. The next video is really going to have some people's eyes popping out and freaking out over what they've written into this bill and the way they've done it. So as always, please like, subscribe, share. We really appreciate you guys getting us over the 7,000 mark. Let's head for 7,500, then on to 10,000. We'll keep this stuff coming out. Just keep commenting. And I got to ban my first troll. You want to say racial things or whatever, not tolerating it, not putting up with it. You can go troll somewhere else. You want to argue with me? You want to debate my reading of the law? Have at it. No problem. I'll do that all day long. I've proven the anti-gunners wrong more than a dozen times. So with that, guys, frag out.